Hey church, it's Pastor Geoffrey with the weekly video blog for the coming weekend, which is August 23rd and 24th. It's Wednesday here at the office, and we want to make you aware of activities that are going to go on the rest of the week and into the weekend. Tonight we're going to get together for our fellowship meal like we always do on Wednesday nights, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. at the fellowship hall, and so we look forward to seeing a lot of you there. It's going to be followed by a Bible study at 7 p.m. We are going back to some question and answers, and the question tonight is something that is on our website, and so good question, and we're going to dive into that a little bit, and it relates to John chapter 10, where Jesus calls himself the Good Shepherd, and so we're going to dive into that passage a little bit tonight. So if you want to read John chapter 10 in preparation for that, then you'll be good to go. And then we move into the weekend and activities on Saturday morning. We are going to go back to our breakfast and denomination study. And so we're finishing up the Lutheran denomination. We started that a couple of weekends ago, and we're going to finish that up on Saturday mornings. So if you want to get up and have some breakfast with us and do a little denomination study, that's what's going to happen on Saturday. And then we move into Sunday, and Sunday we're continuing in our series on the beauty of the Lord. And so we've been talking through different aspects of why the Lord is beautiful to us. We talked about our calling a couple of weeks ago, and then last week we talked about the beauty of the church, the only organization that Jesus promised to create, build, and bless. And so we had a good conversation about that on Sunday. And now this weekend, we're going to talk about the beauty of finding God's will. Finding God's will. The number one question, or maybe the top two questions I get as a pastor is, Pastor, what do you think God's will is for my life? And it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 40 or 60 or 80, it seems to be a question that is recurring, and so we're going to hit that. There's a beauty in being in God's will, understanding God's will, to find it, to be comfortable in it, and so we're going to talk about that on the weekend, and so I hope you'll be ready for that. The passage is going to be from Romans chapter 12, the first two verses, if you want to read and get ahead of that and understand that passage, but we're going to dive pretty deeply into that understanding of God's will. And so there are a couple other opportunities that are service opportunities that we can do at the church. And so this month of August, we are doing Meals on Wheels as a fellowship, and so we're delivering meals to members of our community during the lunch hour, and so there's a few more slots available in some days if you're interested in doing that. And there's also a box in the foyer where we are collecting supplies for our Compass Ministry Alliance and Partnership. Compass is an organization that helps with placing foster children and caring for foster families, and so that's something that we take a part of as well. And so there's a list of supplies on the box in the foyer. If you're interested in doing that, you can take a look at the list and maybe pick up a couple of things and put it in the box. Another great way of loving on the community with this outreach opportunity. And so those are the activities for the week and the opportunities for outreach during the week, and so hopefully you guys will take advantage of those. I look forward to seeing you at the church. I hope you guys are having a great week.